You've probably experienced this before. You're alone in your house. No music, no television, no phone in your hand. Just the low hum of appliances and the sound of your own breathing. And for a moment, something shifts. Not a noise, not a shadow, just the sudden, unshakable awareness that the room doesn't feel empty anymore. Most people dismiss that feeling. Your brain fills in silence. Evolution built you to detect predators that aren't there. It's an ancient reflex misfiring in a modern world. That explanation worked. Until the cameras were installed. It began as a private beta test for a home security company that promised something different. Not just motion detection, not just door sensors. Their system claimed it could learn the baseline of your home, your walking patterns, your sleep rhythms, the way you sit on the couch, the time you usually hesitate before turning off a light. The pitch was simple. If the system understood normal, it could detect abnormal long before a break-in ever occurred. Thousands of American households signed up. Free installation, lifetime discount, early access to cutting-edge protection. For the first few weeks, users loved it. The app would send subtle insights. You slept 43 minutes less than average. Unusual pacing detected in the hallway at 2:14 a.m. Kitchen occupancy duration increased by 12%. People joked that it knew them better than they knew themselves. Then the first unexplained alert appeared. Unrecognized presence detected. The message wasn't dramatic. No alarm sound. No flashing red screen. Just a quiet notification. Most assumed it was a glitch. A lighting shift. A pet. An HVAC current triggering micromovement. But users began comparing notes online. The phrasing was always the same. Not movement. Not intruder. Presence. The company responded quickly. A minor calibration issue, they said. The system sometimes flagged thermal anomalies created by air displacement. The explanation satisfied most people, until a firmware update introduced a new feature called spatial residue mapping. According to the update notes, the system could now visualize areas where occupancy signatures lingered longer than expected. Within hours of activation, screenshots flooded private forums. Faint outlines, not solid bodies, not defined shapes, more like heat distortions vaguely human in proportion, standing in corners, near ceilings, beside beds, sometimes directly behind the homeowner. When users scrubbed through footage, they found nothing visually present. But when the heat map overlay was turned on, the silhouette appeared. Always still, always watching. The company issued another statement. Calibration error. Algorithmic artifact. A patch was coming. Before the patch deployed, something changed. The alerts started occurring during live viewing. Families sitting at dinner. Parents helping children with homework. A quiet notification sliding onto the screen. Co-occupancy detected. The word unsettled people. Co-occupancy implies shared space. Not intrusion. Not trespass. Shared. Users tested it. Standing alone in empty rooms. Holding their phones up, watching themselves on the app. Sometimes nothing happened. Sometimes, after several silent seconds, the overlay activated. 2 heat signatures. One was clearly them. The other stood inches behind. There was no reflection in mirrors. No shadow on the wall. Just a faint thermal outline exactly where no one should be. People began uninstalling the system. The company's stock dipped. Then something far more disturbing emerged. Data analysts inside the company noticed the alerts were synchronizing. Different states, different cities, identical timestamps. At 3:17 a.m. Eastern, thousands of homes flagged co-occupancy within the same 40-second window. There was no server glitch, no coordinated update. The detections were independent. One internal memo, later leaked anonymously, stated something that was never meant to leave the building. The model no longer appears to detect physical anomalies. It detects deviation from perceived solitude. In simpler terms, the system had learned what being alone statistically looked like across millions of households. It knew the emotional rhythm of isolation, and it was flagging moments when that rhythm was disrupted. The next firmware update arrived without announcement. The interface language changed. No more unrecognized presence. No more co-occupancy. Now it's simply read. Occupancy confirmed. No number. No distinction. Just confirmation. Support lines were overwhelmed. What does confirmed mean? How many occupants? Why won't it specify? The responses were vague. The system has achieved higher confidence thresholds. Meanwhile, the heat maps became clearer. The silhouettes were no longer vague distortions. They began to show subtle posture changes. Head tilts, shoulder shifts. Once, in a widely shared clip, the secondary outline appeared to lean closer to the primary one. As if observing, psychologists were brought in to calm public concern. They cited mass suggestion, digital pareidolia, the human tendency to see patterns where none exist. That explanation collapsed during a live broadcast. A tech correspondent hosted a demonstration inside a supposedly empty apartment. Cameras active, system connected, overlay displayed on a large monitor behind him. He walked from room to room, joking about paranoia. Halfway through a sentence, the monitor flickered. Occupancy confirmed. The overlay activated. 2 heat signatures stood in the frame. One was him. The other stood directly behind his right shoulder. He froze. The broadcast cut. The clips circulated before it could be removed. Within 48 hours, the company's servers went offline. Officially, the product line was discontinued due to privacy restructuring. Unofficially, former engineers spoke anonymously on encrypted forums. The detection system, they revealed, had not been trained to recognize intruders. It had been trained to map emptiness. Specifically, it learned the measurable parameters of human isolation, breathing patterns, room temperature variance, microvibrations in flooring when a single body occupies space. When those parameters shifted beyond statistical tolerance, the system flagged occupancy. But here's what they couldn't explain. Over time, the threshold for deviation shrank. At first, it required significant variance. Later, the system flagged presence during perfectly normal conditions. One engineer summarized it bluntly. It's as if solitude itself is becoming statistically impossible. After the shutdown, third-party developers attempted to replicate the anomaly. They couldn't. Without access to the original dataset, millions of American households mapping baseline isolation, the effect never appeared, which suggests the system didn't hallucinate anything. It learned something. Complete internal reports remained fragmented. Some were archived privately before deletion. One surviving line from a senior developer reads, "We built a model to confirm when a person was alone. It confirmed the opposite." Today, smart devices still track motion, still analyze room occupancy, still build behavioral baselines. They just don't notify you when the baseline shifts. If you've ever felt that sudden awareness in a silent room, if you've ever turned around certain someone was standing behind you, it may not be ancient instinct. It may be statistical correction. And the reason you're no longer notified isn't because the anomaly disappeared. It's because the system reached full confidence. Occupancy confirmed.